Seaguar's coming out with a new hollow braid, Threadlock, 16 Kevlar threads, and it's hollow core, so you can make your own wind-ons. And we're gonna make a wind-on today, something you can do on a rainy day or a windy day, keep you thinking about the big fish you're gonna catch. The importance of the hollow core is it makes a seamless, knot-free connection from the monofilament to your leader. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna double this hollow core up and make a loop with the simplest of tools. That's really what I want to show you today, is how you can do it with just some stuff out of your tackle box. Copper wire, a little piece of wire thread, a little piece of wire wax twine, and a bait needle. And that's it. You can buy these pre-made, but they're a little pricey. If you were to buy the basic components and build your own, you can make 10 for the price of one. So here's what we do on a rainy day. First thing we're gonna do, we're gonna take a 5-foot piece of the hollow core and a copper wire doubled over. That's gonna be our pick. This is gonna fit inside the hollow core to pull it back into itself. Now it takes a little practice, but the hollow core is tightly spun and flat, so you're just gonna push it together until it starts to mushroom out. Once you get it to mushroom out, you can slide the head of the copper wire right into it. And that's the whole key, is getting into the center of the core. And I can do it, I promise. I practiced. All right, now we got it inserted into the itself. I'm gonna slide the whole length of this copper wire out a few inches to pull it back into itself and make loops. So now that I got it started, I'm running up the center of the core. As it bunches up, you want to slide it down. Just keep pushing and bunching, pushing and bunching. Keep riding it till you run the end of your copper wire. That's plenty of line. Once it's doubled over an inch, it'll hold itself like Chinese finger locks. But once you get 2 or 3 inches, it's even more secure. You don't want to let the big one get away. Once you're inside, it really wants to just run through the center. It's not going to try to fight its way back out. But again, you just got to keep bunching it, bunching it, bunching it. All right, now that we're where we want to be, we're going to slowly bring the copper wire back out. There it goes. Now, since you've got it bunched tight, you're just going to take your thumbnail and open it up just enough. Bring the tag end of your core right through it, and you're going to pull it and twist real easy. It's going to double itself over and disappear right back inside of itself, just like that. Now you've got your dropper loop. So we got to get the copper wire out of here. We'll pull that out, disconnect it, and then bring it all back together. Just pull it out until it's locked in there. Now, we've made a loop to connect to our bimini twist on your 50 or 80 or 30. With these, you can build any size leaders you want, from 50-pound wind-ons to 200 to 300, whatever will fit in. This is 200 pounds, so we're gonna be able to get 200 or 300-pound tests inside this. So now we have our loop. You can just test it. You can put it on a bumper hitch or anything. It is not gonna come back out. It is locking itself in, and you want to be about an inch and a half to make a really nice loop-to-loop connection. So that phase is finished. Now we've got to prepare to get the monofilament into the hollow core. To do that, another little simple item is your bait needle. Your bait needle, you just want to get to the tip of your core again and just work it open. Once we get it open, it'll be ready to take the mono in. This takes a little time because it's frayed, tends to want to fray, but it's woven very tight. So once you get it going, just like we started with the copper wire, it's going to open up that hollow spot, and we're going to get busy in there. Your mono will be easier for your mono. There you go. Now, I've already pre-cut my leaders at 20 feet. And the secret to this is, once you cut them, they're going to be a little ragged, and it's going to tend to want to bite the inside of your core and drag the threads around. So we're just going to melt it with a match and get a nice little tip to it. Now it's taking that sharp edge off. You get a little mushroom. Again, that'll help it keep from pulling back out. Now you got your melted tip. and we're going to start working it into the hollow core, back all the way up to the loop. The more of these you do, the faster you get at it, obviously. You got to get in the groove. Don't worry about the end getting frayed up, because we're going to finish that next with wax line. All right, then you're going to want to bring the mushroom tip into the end, and just like you did with the copper wire, scrunch, twist, scrunch and twist. It's going to ride up into the leader. Now we just created a seamless connection from mono to braid, and then with a bimini twist, you can wind this right onto your reel without any knots. Then you're going to take this and work it up 2 feet. Again, after 3 or 4 inches, it's probably all you need, but seems like 2 feet's the standard in the industry for make everybody happy. Now we're really working it up here now, and just bunching, 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 sliding, bunching, 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 sliding. And now once we get this to the finish point, all we have left to do is just wax line the end so it doesn't keep fraying. And once you get it set up in your shop or your work table, you can do all these things. Make your loops, make your loops, make your loops, then do your leaders, your leaders, your leaders, and then whip them all out. Once you do repetitive motions, these are much quicker to put together. While I'm finishing up, we'll talk about the Seaguar lines. With the fluorocarbon now, as it is today, super abrasive and extra skinny, we're able to catch a lot more fish with lighter and lighter leaders. 10 years ago, this wind-on would have been 400 or 500 pound test to fish for the same fish we're using 200 pound test today. So just by the fact alone we're using half the weight of line class, we're getting twice as many bites and catching the same class fish, thanks to Seaguar's extra hard abrasive coatings. And now that they make their own monofin fishing line as well as braid and hollow core, from start to finish, your entire fishing system is all Seaguar. They've always been the leader and innovator with fluorocarbon. Now with the braid as well, there's no reason to have any other brand in your tackle box. All right, now once you've got it all the way through the hollow core where it meets the loop, now it's finished. Now you can hook that to your truck and it's not going to break, slide, or pull. Only thing we need to do now to finish is come back to the frayed end, take a little wax line, and we're going to whip it 1 inch of half hitches, cut it clean. Now, then it'll prevent it from going through the rod guides and scunching up and maybe pulling out. So that's as simple as taking some wax line, making a half hitch, laying it back down over itself, trimming it. Once you start to half hitch with your little bobbin of wax line, start doing half hitches from the braid down towards the mono. You're just going to match what you cover on the braid down to mono itself. Make it about a 1 inch of half hitches, and I'll show you what the finished product looks like next. Okay. Now that we've half hitched it for a half inch on the braid, covered the loose end all the way down onto the braid, from the braid all the way down to the mono, that's the finished product right there. Now, as it goes through roller guides, it can't come unfrayed or catch. So now you have 2 foot of line inside the braid, 1.5 inch loop, 20-foot wind on, ready to go. All you gotta do now is add a snap swivel and you're ready to go fishing. Make up a half a dozen of these in advance, keep them in your tackle bag, anywhere from 80-pound test to 300-pound test, and you're ready to match any fish you find down the ocean.